Hi everyone, it's me, Fiona Jane, aka Dr. Hikaru. Just that normal disclaimer, I'm just a patient with endometriosis. I'm not really a doctor. Anything I see in these videos is my own experience, as I enjoy vlogging. Not really enjoy. I do vlog my videos to talk about what's going on with me. First off, it's March 31st. It's the last day of Endometriosis Awareness Month. As some of you may or may not know, I am the Nevada chapter president for Endo March, a nonprofit organization started by the Najat family and Barbara Martin to help raise awareness all over the world. This year I marched in San Francisco, California. There were also simultaneous marches held internationally across the globe in about 60 other countries and New York, and a couple other key locations in the United States. So I participated in the San Francisco March. I posted my video of the speech I did there. I was very fortunate and blessed to be asked to speak on behalf of some of my endo sisters, and I'm really thankful for that experience. 3 years in a row now that I've been a part of Endo March. As you know, endometriosis, while March is the Awareness Month, the fight keeps going on. This video I really wanted specifically to focus on my diet. So I had mentioned in my last videos that I was gaining weight, I was unhappy, I was having nausea, I was on the verge of, I was just super unhappy. I had surgery in April 2014, and it's about an 18 months recurrence thing for me if it comes back. And end of December, I was miserable. I had gone up another 10 pounds, so I was now sitting at a weight of 171. Nothing I did was seeming to lose it. If I ate more clean, nothing did it. If I exercised more, nothing did it. And I was just flat out miserable. My doctor, my surgeon specialist, Dr. Nishat, had asked me, did I want to, clearly I was on my way to surgery. Did I want to try talking to one of his associates who is a homeopath, naturopath? And at this point, I was like, anything to avoid a freaking surgery. Hell yeah. So I am now seeing Dr. Lachey, and she has brought on some amazing results for me. She had told me one of the first things, first off, one of the things I have to do, and I'm still in the process, is reading this book. It is The Gut Revolution. Let me try holding it so you can see it a little better. The Gut Revolution by Gerard E. Mullen. I love reading, and I thought I would be able to get through this book pretty easily. I'm going to now try the audio version because it's a little hefty and repetitive for me to keep reading, but I heard the audio version is a lot easier to digest. No pun intended. So read this. It talks a lot about what I'm going to talk about and why my diet works. So on this diet, I did it cold turkey. January 4th is when I started. I am still currently on it. Along with my diet, which I'll get into detail, I also am taking prebiotics, probiotics, and now I'm on a supplement. So first off, let's talk about the diet. I call it the anti-inflammatory restrictive diet of doom because basically I am cutting anything that may cause inflammation. This book talks about leaky gut. People who have been on this diet and seen results have also attributed, you may hear that term, leaky gut. I've known other people who are on a similar diet, it is just the super anti-inflammatory diet of doom. I'm not getting into the why so much. You can read all about the research online. You can ask your doctors about it. I want to talk about the results and what I'm doing, because what I'm doing is clearly working for me. So the diet consists of no soy, no corn, no gluten, no sugar, no peanuts, no chlorinated water, no GMOs, big thing on there, no genetically modified organisms, including salmon, so only wild caught salmon. And I can have meat. I can have any red meat, as long as red meat, chicken, whatever meat, as long as it's grass-fed only, and so grass-fed, pasture-raised. I can have dairy, again, grass-fed, pasture-raised, and whole milk only. And cheese and eggs are the same thing, grass-fed. So that's a whole lot of list of restrictions. No corn, no soy, no sugar, no gluten, no GMOs, no chlorinated water, grass-fed only on meat and poultry, and no genetically modified salmon. I think that's pretty much it. I did it cold turkey. So Some of you guys may think that's quite a feat. I would say the hardest thing about this diet is you have to read everything, and the places I thought that would be easiest to shop are not the easiest to shop at. So the no GMO is probably one of the hardest things to stick with on this diet because you've got to see if things are genetically modified. Usually that translates to organic only. I try to eat as organic and I try to eat as clean as possible. As you know, I travel for work, so that posed a challenge. I'll get into some of the things I did around that. But that's my diet. I'm also on prebiotics and probiotics. One of the things I'm taking is pure powder inulin, organic. It's sitting across from me, so I'm not going to be able to reach it because I'd have to get up. But I can tell you some of the other things I started along with my diet. I'm on pre and probiotics. I'm on this, metagenetics, omega-3 plus 7 combination, support for a healthy cardiovascular system, healthy blood lipids, and overall health. Ultraflora Immune Buster, also by Metagenetics. Daily probiotic support for nasal, sinus, and respiratory health. Ultraflora Spectrum, broad spectrum probiotic for gastrointestinal and immune health. Along with that inulin I was talking about, I take about 2 teaspoons a day of the powder, once a day. And then now I recently started this Healthy Balance Wellness Essentials. And they come in a pack like this, as you can see. So I take all of that on top of doing this diet. And the idea is I was going to clean out my gut and help my body just achieve balance by not putting anything that could cause inflammation inside it. One of the first things my doctor, my homeo naturopath, Dr. Lachey, told me I would see happening is the extreme nausea I was experiencing would go away. And that is true. In 2 weeks, my nausea had abated severely. I might have it now if I get a small flare-up, but it's nothing to the level of wanting to puke and cry in the mornings anymore. So that was one of the first results I saw. Clearly eating like this is going to result in weight loss. I checked in at 171 when I first started, and at my last checkup 2 weeks ago, I was at 148. That's almost, or 147, that's almost 25 pounds I lost. And it was just, I haven't been working out as much because I'm still fatigued. I've got still some levels of stress I'm trying to control in my personal life. And that's about it. I'm also now off all medication except for the supplements and pre and probiotics. I'm not even on hormones anymore. So that's a complete change. Dr. Najat and Dr. Lachey talked it over and figured under Dr. Lachey's treatment, I was doing okay and I can come off hormones, which is very surprising since, as you know, hormones are used to help regulate what's going on with my adenomyosis and my endometriosis. Things about the diet. Again, the hardest thing is you have to read everything. Like, I try to eat organic as much as possible. There are some things like seasoning that are harder to find that organic. I try to go as natural and organic. And people say, why does organic and GMO make a difference? This book explains why. There's a lot of theories on why organic makes a difference. I just know that my body is a lot happier and healthier. My bloating has significantly gone down. I can wear pants again, which is amazing. I am feeling more like me, and my doctor believes that if I continue down this path, I should be able to reach my normal base weight of 130, 135. And I am going to document to see if that happens. So, no gluten. That wasn't too hard for me. No breads. I wasn't really big of a bread person. What makes no gluten hard is in pasta. Because the next thing, when you start looking at gluten-free things, the next thing they make them out of is corn. And my diet is also no corn. So I'm usually looking at quinoa and brown rice substitutes or flaxseed. There are many different things you can find, but when you're eating gluten-free, that is one thing you want to stay away from is corn in the substitutes. So that was a little hard. No soy was extremely hard. I'm Asian. So no ramen for me, no edamame, no tofu, no any of those things that have soy, which I really missed and I had cravings for, but I found like coconut aminos that's taste like soy, and I actually haven't had a craving for soy. I find that shopping, I shop at like I thought that shopping at Whole Foods would be one of the best things and easiest things for me, and the truth is, it wasn't. Shopping at Whole Foods doesn't exactly tell me if things are organic. It poses a problem for me. I can't tell if their meat is grass fed either. The same with their milk. Shopping at Trader Joe's is a little easier. Trader Joe's says if anything that is branded Trader Joe's, so anything that's packaged in Trader Joe's, is organic and is GMO free. So I shop at Trader Joe's quite a bit. Again, you have to read through their ingredients. They're great. They've got lists of gluten-free lists if you want to shop there. And it's really easy to shop there. But meat, I can't guarantee that their meats are grass-fed, and same with their dairy. So I tend not to get my dairy and my meats from there. The good news is where I live, we have a local butcher store. And Butcher Boys, where I go, is sustainable, grass-fed, pasture-fed meat. So I'm able to eat steaks and pretty much most of the meat I love and crave, and knowing that I'm eating it healthy livestock. So grass-fed eggs are kind of hard to find. Or they're not as hard to find. It's not just cage-free. It's got to be grass-fed, and sometimes my carton of eggs is about $8. The good news is at Natural Grocers, I found one that's about $5 a carton, so it's closer. People say that eating this clean is going to be super expensive. It's actually not if you know how to read the labels and look for things. So most Walmarts, Scholaries, Save Marts, Rayleighs, they all have organic areas. I buy a lot of organic fruits. So my mornings usually consist of an organic smoothie. And to make things simple, I just use cashew milk. You can also use almond milk, and you can use coconut milk. I found cashew milk I like the best because I get the unsweetened, again, no sugar, so no processed sugar, no honey. I mean, you can have stevia, however you want to pronounce that. I don't take it because I just cut off all sugar. You can have natural sugar, stuff that occurs in fruits, so I'm not too worried. It's just that processed sugar. I do miss agave and honey, but now that I've been eating this way for 3 months, I don't really crave anything that sweet. So the internet is wonderful. I have also wonderful vegan and vegetarian friends who, when I started saying I missed this, what can I do to substitute for it? Like, I missed crunchy things. I missed crunchy potato chips, and it wasn't so much the taste, it was the texture. So my boyfriend actually went one day and he sliced potatoes for me, and he made me my own homemade potato chips. Another thing was like broccoli slaw for the crunch. I kind of missed ice cream at first, but I find that if you take all your frozen berries, you can make a sorbet by just adding a little bit of nut milk, again, almond milk or cashew milk, no soy milk, and getting it to about a thick consistency and freezing it. And there you go, you've got a sorbet. So one of the biggest things I missed was pizza, but I found my grass-fed cheese. I found organic tomato paste, and I made myself a pizza using a recipe I found online that was actually gluten-free, dairy-free, and egg-free. So there are ways to eat. You've just got to look around. Thank God for the internet, and you can basically search for anything you want to make. You can probably make a version of it that adheres to the dietary restrictions I'm on. Energy-wise, I feel okay. It goes up and down, but I have endometriosis, so I'm expected to have chronic fatigue. Hi, Nina. That's the German Shepherd. She's laying right down there. Obviously not thrilled with my diet because it means she doesn't always get to eat stuff off my plate, although she does like the fact that I eat a lot more meat, or that she gets a lot more of my meat because I go to a butcher. So that's when I'm home, I try to eat as clean as possible. When I'm traveling, I have found that it's hard. Not every place has a sustainable, organic place to eat, and a lot of restaurants do not offer grass-fed beef. You've got to pay a little bit of a premium for it, and depending on what city you're in, it's not easy. So the healthy alternatives I found that stick as close to my diet without breaking the bank or being resulted to just eating smoothies all day, because I bring my blender and I have smoothies in the morning, is Mediterranean food, because they use olive oil. So and there's not a lot of corn, soy, gluten in there. In most places you can ask for it to be catered to you and not find too much of an issue. One place that I always ate at in Atlanta, Aviva, they are also sustainable, kosher grade, no antibiotics, grass-fed, most of their meats. So made it perfect for me. If I did want to eat their meats, I found though that I was getting the wild-caught salmon, stewed in mayonnaise just fine, and all the veggies were organic. Sushi. Now, I said no genetically modified salmon, so the easiest thing for me is if I eat sushi is just to avoid salmon, unless I know it's a wild-caught salmon that they're using in the store. And I don't use soy sauce, and I ask for no sauces on any of my rolls. So vegetarian rolls, vegan rolls are usually vegan. You got to be careful; they got tofu in it. Workout for me in sashimi is just straight out fish. So fish and rice, I'm pretty clean there. And vegetables are not necessarily organic, but they're clean enough. I think the ones to watch out for in terms of most highly genetically modified are things like squash and zucchini. Don't quote me on that. I usually research anyway online. What other things? Oh, and pho. Vietnamese food, because they don't use as much soy as Chinese food, and they are like vermicelli noodles. They're rice noodles, so I can have rice noodles, and pho has gluten-free rice noodles. So these are like my kind of go-to. Indian food's also really good for you too. We use coconut milk in a lot of there, and their turmeric is another highly anti-inflammatory ingredient that I started also putting into my smoothies and learning how to cook with more. So those are kind of my go-tos. If I had Indian food, Mediterranean food, sushi, or Vietnamese food, I'm usually in the safe, and most cities have that. So if you want to go out and eat with your friends, you just eat kind of smart about it. I tend to order, I just kind of ask for a lot of non-gluten things in my menu. So pasta is a no, even though they say it's gluten-free, because unless they can tell me there's no corn in it, I won't touch it. But I can usually eat steaks if they can tell me, or if not steak, fish. Most places have fish. Or I can always eat a salad, no dressing, or ask for a balsamic vinaigrette, because that's usually just vinegar and olive oil, or you just ask for olive oil and simplify the process, or you don't have any of it. So it's just, I don't like inconveniencing my friends and my the people I'm around, so that's how I tend to eat when I want to go out and eat with friends. I prefer to eat at home, and when I'm at home, I figured the cleaner I eat at home, the less guilty I have to feel about it when I go out and I can't eat to and stick to the absolute T of all those restrictions. So that's what's going on with me. This video is about 17 minutes. I think I'm going to cap it about 20. So the diet is working. It does take you having to stop and do it at once, do a little research on how to eat this way, cater it to your needs. We can slowly add things back in my case, once we've stabilized. I also had an extreme amount of blood work and blood testing done before I started this diet, and I just had my blood drawn, and I will talk about in my next video the results of when that come back, what they saw, what numbers went up, what numbers went down. Being my first period kind of sucked. When I first started this diet, I had a lot of changes going on. The diet was still really new. It was super heavy. It was crampy. It was very uncomfortable. But my second period that also happened in this frame was a lot more manageable. It was about 5 days, 3 days of being heavy, fatigue and bloating, but nothing at what I've seen before. So I'm kind of excited. I do still get a little PMSy right before my period, so we're going to have me monitor that this next time around. And hopefully the fact that I'm now on supplements and vitamins will help. We'll see. Time will tell. So thanks for checking in on me. If you want to ask me any personal questions about the diet, feel free to. On the whys, I don't want to hear anything on like, are you sure you made the right decision? I did make the right decision. I'm a happier, healthier person now. I'm starting to feel more like myself. Before I started gaining all this weight, before the bloating got out of control. And I think it shows, and who wants to be in pain, right? I'll try anything. If you want to try this diet, you want to get on these supplements, go ahead. I don't see why you couldn't do it on your own. And I will keep in touch with you guys. Thanks again. Thanks for listening. This is Dr. Hikaru, Fiona Jane, signing out. Okay, bye. Happy Endometriosis Awareness Month.